Thunder rolled across the Seattle skyline as Zane Maverick Sterling stared out the floor-to-ceiling windows of his penthouse office at Sterling Tech. At just 30 years old, he had built a tech empire worth billions, but today even the impressive view of the Space Needle couldn't lift his spirits. His fingers absently traced the old photograph on his desk, a smiling young woman with flowing auburn hair and bright green eyes. Sarah. 10 years had passed since she disappeared from his life, taking with her his only chance at having a family. The intercom buzzed, interrupting his brooding. "Mr. Sterling, your 2 p.m. appointment with the Children's Charity Foundation is here." His assistant's voice crackled through the speaker. "Send them in, Charlotte," he replied, quickly tucking the photograph into his desk drawer. He had started the Sterling Foundation for Children's Future 6 years ago, channeling his pain into something meaningful. If he couldn't have children of his own, he could at least help those in need. The foundation director, Martha Wilson, entered with her usual warm smile, but today something was different. She seemed unusually excited, almost nervous. "Mr. Pierce, thank you for seeing me on such short notice. We have an unusual situation at St. Catherine's Children's Home that I believe requires your personal attention." Thad raised an eyebrow. In 6 years, Martha had never requested his personal involvement in any case. "What's so special about this one?" "It's about twin girls who arrived at the home 3 days ago. They were found wandering alone in Pioneer Square, no parents, no documentation, just the clothes on their backs and—" She paused, building suspense, "a very unique piece of jewelry." Thad leaned forward slightly, his interest piqued despite himself. "Go on." "The girls, they're 9 years old. Identical twins, extraordinarily bright. One is quiet and analytical while the other is outgoing and creative. But what caught our attention was a ring one of them was wearing. Well, I think you should see it for yourself. Martha, I appreciate your dedication, but I'm not sure why a piece of jewelry warrants my immediate attention. The foundation has protocols for processing new arrivals." "Mr. Pierce," Martha interrupted, her voice gentle but firm, "I wouldn't be here if I didn't think this was crucial. These girls, there's something about them. And that ring? I've seen it before in an old photograph on your desk." Thad's heart skipped a beat. It couldn't be. He had designed that ring himself, a one-of-a-kind piece with a distinctive emerald and diamond pattern that matched Sarah's eyes. He had given it to her the night before. "What are their names?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Lily and Luna. They refused to give a last name." "Mr. Pierce. I think you need to meet these girls." The storm outside intensified, lightning illuminating the darkening sky. Thad stood up, his mind racing with possibilities he had long ago forced himself to abandon. "Have my car brought around. We're going to St. Catherine's now." If you're enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any of the amazing stories/videos we have coming up. Your support really helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you more of what you love. Thank you. The sleek black Tesla cut through the rain-slicked streets of Seattle, carrying Zane and Martha toward St. Catherine's Children's Home. Zane's mind raced with memories he'd tried to bury for a decade. Sarah's laugh, the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about having children someday, the devastating news from the doctors that had shattered their dreams. The ring he'd designed for her had been his promise that they'd find a way together. But then she vanished, leaving only a note. "I can't do this anymore. Please don't look for me." "The girls arrived during that big storm 3 nights ago," Martha's voice pulled him back to the present. "A shop owner found them huddled under the awning of his bookstore. They were soaked to the bone but refused to come inside until he promised not to separate them." Zane's throat tightened. "And the ring?" "Luna, the quieter one, wears it on a chain around her neck. She becomes very distressed if anyone tries to touch it." Martha hesitated. "She says it belonged to their mother." The Tesla pulled up to the Victorian-style building that housed St. Catherine's. Despite the millions Zane had donated through his foundation, he'd never visited in person. The red brick structure seemed to loom over them, its windows glowing warmly against the gray afternoon. Inside, the home was a contrast of institutional efficiency and attempts at coziness, cheerful artwork on the walls, well-worn furniture, the smell of something baking in the kitchen. A group of children played board games in the common room, their laughter echoing down the hallway. "The twins are in the library," Martha said softly. "They spend most of their time there. Lily reads stories to the younger children while Luna—" She smiled. "Luna has already reorganized the entire nonfiction section by subject matter and color coding." They approached the library doors and Zane's heart hammered in his chest. Through the glass panels, he could see two small figures with identical curtains of auburn hair. One girl was gesturing animatedly as she read from a book, while the other methodically arranged books on a nearby shelf. Around the second girl's neck, a thin silver chain caught the light. "Mr. Sterling," Martha touched his arm gently, "there's something else you should know. When we asked about their parents, Lily said their mother told them that their father was a man who builds the future. Those were Sarah's exact words about you in that magazine interview, weren't they?" Zane couldn't speak. His hand trembled as he reached for the library door handle. 9 years old. The timing would be right. But how? What? The question swirled in his mind as he stepped into the room, and two pairs of startlingly familiar green eyes turned to look at him. The book Lily was holding slipped from her fingers and thudded softly on the carpet. Luna's hand flew to the ring hanging around her neck. The resemblance to Sarah was breathtaking. The same delicate features, the same stubborn set to their chins. But there was something of himself there too, in the arch of their eyebrows, the shape of their faces. "Hello," he managed to say, his voice rough with emotion. "I'm Zane Sterling. I'd very much like to hear your story." Luna took a protective step in front of her sister, her small hand still clutching the ring. "You're the man from the magazine covers," she said, her voice carrying a maturity beyond her years. "Mom kept them in a box under her bed." Lily darted out from behind her sister, eyes blazing with curiosity. "Are you really building a robot that can think like a human? Mom said your company is working on artificial intelligence that could change everything." Zane felt his chest tighten. Even their mannerisms echoed Sarah's, Luna's cautious analysis, Lily's burning curiosity. He moved slowly, choosing a nearby reading chair and sitting down to make himself less intimidating. "I am. But I'm more interested in hearing about this ring your mother gave you." The twins exchanged a look that seemed to carry an entire conversation. Finally Luna spoke again. "Mom said we couldn't show it to anyone unless..." She hesitated, glancing at her sister. "Unless we found the man who could finish the story." Lily burst out, earning a sharp look from her twin. "The story about the emeralds that match her eyes." Zane's world tilted. He had said those exact words to Sarah the night he gave her the ring, down on one knee in their favorite spot at Cary Park, the Seattle skyline glittering behind them. "The emeralds match your eyes," he had told her, "but they're only half as bright." "Your mother," he said carefully, "what did she tell you about your father?" Luna's fingers tightened around the ring. "She said he was brilliant but lonely. That he built amazing things but couldn't build what he wanted most." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "A family. But she also said he never knew about us." Lily added, bouncing on her toes. "Because of the doctors who told him he couldn't." "Lily." Luna cut her off sharply. "We're not supposed to tell anyone that part." Martha, who had been quietly observing from near the door, stepped forward. "Girls, why don't we all sit down? Maybe Mr. Sterling would like to hear about how you came to be here." Lily immediately dropped into a cross-legged position on the floor, while Luna perched tentatively on the edge of a chair, still keeping the ring safely in her grasp. The contrast in their personalities was striking, Lily open and eager, Luna protective and watchful. "Mom got really sick 2 weeks ago," Lily began, her earlier excitement fading. "She tried to hide it but we could tell. Then 3 days ago she told us we had to be brave and follow her instructions exactly. She gave me the ring," Luna continued, "and said we needed to come to Seattle to Pioneer Square. She said." Her voice cracked slightly. "She said sometimes the biggest mistakes come from fear, and she didn't want to make that mistake again. But when we got here," Lily's lower lip trembled, "we couldn't find the building she told us about. And now we can't find her either." Zane leaned forward, his heart pounding. "This building she told you to find, did it have a specific name?" Luna nodded slowly. "Sterling Tech. She said we'd know it by the big silvers on the front. But we got lost in the rain and then Mr. Chin from the bookstore found us and now we're here," Lily finished quietly. Are you going to help us find Mom?" The weight of their hopeful gazes fell on Zane like a physical thing. These girls, his daughters, had been sent on a mission to find him, carrying a ring he'd given their mother a decade ago. Sarah was sick, possibly seriously ill, and had finally decided to reveal the secret she'd kept all these years. But where was she now? If you're enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any of the amazing stories/videos we have coming up. Your support really helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you more of what you love. Thank you. Zane pulled out his phone, his CEO instincts kicking in despite the emotional storm raging inside him. Charlotte? I need you to clear my schedule for the next week. And contact Blake Rivers at Rivers Security immediately. He turned to Martha, who was watching the scene unfold with tears in her eyes. I'm taking the girls back to Sterling Tech. We'll need your help with the paperwork. Of course, Martha nodded, understanding the urgency in his voice. I'll get everything started right away. Luna stood up, still guarding the ring. Are you really going to help us find Mom? Yes, Zane said firmly, looking between the two girls. But first, may I see the ring? Luna hesitated, then slowly lifted the chain over her head. Her hands shook slightly as she held it out. Lily moved closer to her sister, their shoulders touching in silent support. The familiar gleam of the custom-designed ring caught the library's warm light, and Zane's breath caught in his throat. There was no doubt, it was the exact ring he had given Sarah. He gently took it, turning it to reveal the inscription he knew would be there, "For all our future adventures, Z." But below his original inscription, there was something new, something he'd never seen before. In Sarah's delicate handwriting, "The greatest adventure was you three." Zane's vision blurred with tears. "Your mother." He cleared his throat, trying to maintain composure. "She's very clever. She knew exactly how to help me find you." "Because of the ring?" Lily asked, inching closer. "Because of everything," Zane replied softly. "The ring, the magazines sending you to my building. She left a trail she knew I would recognize." He handed the ring back to Luna, who quickly returned it to its place around her neck. "Mr. Sterling," a new voice called from the doorway. Blake Rivers, head of one of Seattle's top private security firms, had arrived with his characteristic efficiency. "You called for immediate assistance?" Zane stood, his mind already racing with next steps. "Blake, I need your best team. We're looking for Sarah Mitchell. She was last seen." He looked at the twins. "In Portland," Luna supplied. "On Cedar Street. Near the big park with the rose garden." "Mom likes roses," Lily added quietly. "She always said they reminded her of something important." Zane's heart clenched. Their first date had been in that rose garden. "Blake, start with Portland hospitals. Sarah's ill, that's our priority. Then check property records, credit card transactions, anything that might tell us where she's been these past 2 weeks." As Blake made calls and Martha handled the temporary custody paperwork, Zane knelt down to the twins' eye level. "Would you like to see where I work? It's not far from here, and I have something I'd like to show you too." "The big building with the silvers?" Lily's eyes lit up. "Mom said it looks like a crystal growing out of the ground." "That's exactly what she used to say," Zane smiled, memories washing over him. "She helped design parts of it, you know. Your mother, she was our lead architectural consultant before." He trailed off, standing up and offering a hand to each girl. "Come on. I think it's time you saw it for yourselves." As they walked toward his car, Lily chattered excitedly about all the magazine articles she'd read about Sterling Tech, while Luna walked quietly, taking in everything with watchful eyes. They were so different, yet so clearly sisters, just like him and Sarah, the analytical and the dreamer, two halves of a whole. "Mr. Sterling?" Luna's small voice broke through his thoughts as they reached the car. If you help us find Mom, what happens then?" The question hung in the air, heavy with implications. Zane opened the car door, choosing his words carefully. "Then we make sure she gets the best medical care possible. And then we have a lot of catching up to do. All of us." The Sterling Tech building pierced the Seattle skyline like a gleaming silver arrow, its innovative design drawing gasps from both girls as they pulled up to the entrance. Rain had given way to late afternoon sunshine, making the building's distinctive curves shimmer. "Mom's drawings don't do it justice," Luna whispered, her usual reserve cracking as she pressed her face against the car window. "Drawings?" Zane asked, helping them out of the Tesla. "She has a whole notebook," Lily explained, practically bouncing with excitement. "With all these sketches of the building, but they look different from how it is now. She said they were the original concepts," Luna finished. "She drew them before we were born." Zane led them through the lobby, where heads turned at the unusual sight of their CEO with two identical young girls. The twins stayed close to him, taking in the soaring atrium with its living wall of cascading plants, another of Sarah's designs. "Welcome back, Mr. Sterling," Charlotte stood from her desk as they approached. Her eyes widened at the sight of the girls, clearly noting their resemblance to the photograph she'd seen on his desk countless times. "Your office is ready, and Mr. Rivers has sent his first report." "Thank you, Charlotte." Could you have some hot chocolate sent up? And maybe some of those cookies from the cafe downstairs. The snickerdoodles? Charlotte smiled warmly at the twins. Of course. In the private elevator, Lily couldn't contain herself. This is the coolest building ever. How many floors are there? Do you really have a robot laboratory? Can we see it? Lily, Luna sighed, but her own eyes sparkled with curiosity. The elevator opened directly into Zane's penthouse office suite. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered a panoramic view of Seattle, but Zane led them past his main office to a smaller, more private room he rarely showed anyone. Before I show you what's in here, he said, pausing at the door, I want you to know that I never knew about you. If I had. His voice cracked slightly. If I had known I had daughters, nothing could have kept me from being in your lives. He opened the door to reveal a warm, intimate space that looked more like a living room than an office. One wall was covered with framed architectural drawings, Sarah's original concepts for Sterling Tech. Another held photographs of Sarah and Zane from their time together. But the centerpiece was a large cork board filled with newspaper clippings, printouts, and handwritten notes, all connected with red string. You've been looking for her, Luna realized, moving closer to examine the board. Every day for 10 years, Zane admitted. I hired private investigators, followed every lead. But Sarah, your mother, she's brilliant at staying hidden when she wants to be. Is that why you started the Children's Foundation? Lily asked, studying a photo of a much younger Zane and Sarah laughing together at what looked like a construction site. Partly, he nodded. I hoped, maybe she'd see what I was doing and reach out. And I wanted to help other children, since I believed I'd never have any of my own. He swallowed hard. The doctors told me it was impossible. Mom said they were wrong, Luna said quietly, touching the ring at her neck. She said sometimes doctors make mistakes and sometimes miracles happen, but she was too scared to. A knock at the door interrupted them, Charlotte with hot chocolate and cookies. As the girls settled onto the comfortable couch with their treats, Zane's phone buzzed with a text from Blake. Found her. Portland Providence Hospital. Critical but stable. Details incoming. Zane's hands shook as he read the message. He looked at the twins, his daughters, happily dunking cookies in their hot chocolate, unaware that their world was about to change again. How could he tell them? How could he protect them from more pain while still being honest? Luna, ever observant, caught his expression. It's Mom, isn't it? You found her? The hope and fear in her voice made his heart ache. Lily froze mid-bite, her cookie hovering forgotten in the air. Zane knelt before the twins, his heart racing. Yes, we found her. She's in a hospital in Portland. She's very sick, but she's getting good care. Lily's cookie clattered to the floor. Is she going to? Her voice trembled, unable to finish the question. The doctors are doing everything they can, Zane assured them, gathering both girls into his arms as they burst into tears. Luna's grip on the ring was so tight her knuckles had turned white. My private jet is waiting at Boeing Field. We can be there in less than an hour. You have a plane? Lily sniffled, momentarily distracted. Several. He managed a small smile, wiping her tears with his thumb. The gesture felt so natural, so right. But more importantly, I have the best medical team in the country on speed dial. They're already on their way to Portland. Charlotte appeared in the doorway. Mr. Sterling, the car is ready. I've contacted Providence Hospital and arranged everything. They're expecting you. Luna looked up at Zane, her green eyes, Sarah's eyes, filled with a mix of hope and fear. What if she doesn't want to see you? She does, Zane said with certainty. She made sure you found me, didn't she? She knew exactly what she was doing, sending you here with that ring. He stood, keeping a gentle hand on each girl's shoulder. Your mother is the smartest person I've ever known. If she set this plan in motion, she had a reason. The ride to the airport was quiet, both girls lost in thought. Lily clutched her sister's hand while Luna kept one hand on the ring, the other gripping Zane's sleeve. He'd texted Blake to meet them at the hospital with a full security team. Nothing would separate him from these girls again. On the plane, Lily finally broke the silence. Did you really not know about us? Not even a little bit. Zane looked at her earnest face, seeing so much of Sarah in her expression. If I had known, I would have moved heaven and earth to find you. Both of you. You have to understand. The doctors told me I could never have children. It was why Sarah and I were looking into adoption before she... He paused. Before she left. She has all these pictures of you, Luna said softly, and newspaper articles about Sterling Tech. Sometimes late at night, we'd hear her crying while looking at them. She missed you, Lily added. She'd watch your interviews on TV and talk to the screen like you could hear her. The pain in Zane's chest intensified. 10 years of separation, of thinking he'd never have a family, while Sarah raised their daughters alone. What had frightened her so much that she'd kept this secret for so long? The pilot's voice came over the intercom announcing their descent into Portland. Zane checked his phone, multiple updates from Blake. Sarah was in the ICU with severe pneumonia complicated by an underlying condition. But she was conscious and she'd asked for him by name when they mentioned Sterling Tech. "Girls," he said gently, "when we get to the hospital, your mother will be very weak. She needs rest to get better. But I promise you we're going to make sure she has the very best care. And..." He took a deep breath. "If it's okay with both of you, I'd like to be part of your lives from now on. Not just until your mother gets better, but forever." Lily launched herself at him in a fierce hug while Luna watched, tears streaming down her face. "Promise?" Luna whispered. "I promise," Zane said firmly, opening his other arm to her. As Luna joined the hug, he felt the ring press against his chest, the symbol that had brought his family back together. If you're enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any of the amazing stories/videos we have coming up. Your support really helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you more of what you love. Thank you. Providence Hospital loomed before them, its modern facade a stark contrast to the historic Portland neighborhood surrounding it. Blake Rivers met them at a private entrance, his team of security professionals creating a protective bubble around Zane and the twins. "She's stable," Blake reported as they walked through quiet corridors. "The doctors say she's been fighting this infection for weeks, maybe months. She refused to seek treatment until she made sure we found him," Luna finished quietly, her hand still clutching Zane's. The elevator ride to the ICU felt endless. Lily had gone unusually quiet, pressing close to her sister. Zane could feel both girls trembling slightly, and he squeezed their hands reassuringly. Outside Sarah's room, Dr. Amanda Chen was waiting for them. Her eyes widened slightly at the sight of the twins, but she maintained her professional composure. "Mr. Sterling, we've stabilized her condition, but she's very weak. She's been asking for you and the girls. However..." She glanced at the twins, choosing her words carefully. "She's on oxygen and various medications. She might look a bit scary with all the equipment." "We can handle it," Luna said firmly, though her voice quivered. "We're brave like Mom taught us." Lily nodded vigorously, though tears were already forming in her eyes. Zane knelt down once more to their level. "Remember what I said on the plane? We're in this together now. All of us. Whatever happens, I'm right here with you." The twins exchanged one of their silent looks, then both nodded. Dr. Chen pushed open the door and they stepped inside. The steady beeping of monitors filled the dim room. Sarah lay propped up in the hospital bed, an oxygen mask covering part of her face, but her eyes, those unforgettable green eyes, were open and alert. When she saw them, tears immediately began rolling down her cheeks. "My babies," she whispered, her voice barely audible through the mask. "You did it. You found him." The twins rushed to her bedside, careful of the 4 lines and monitoring equipment. "Mom," they cried in unison, each taking one of her hands. But Sarah's eyes were locked on Zane, who stood frozen in the doorway. 10 years melted away in an instant. Despite the medical equipment, despite the passage of time, she was still the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. "Zane," she managed, "I'm so sorry. I was so scared. The doctor said you couldn't, and then when I found out about the girls, I thought you'd think I'd been unfaithful, that you wouldn't believe." "Sarah," he crossed the room in 3 long strides, dropping into the chair beside her bed. "How could you think that? You were the love of my life. You still are." Luna touched the ring at her neck, then carefully lifted it off and held it out. "Mom said this would prove everything. That you'd know it was real when you saw it." Sarah's hand shook as she reached for the ring. "I couldn't take it with me that night. It hurt too much. But I went back for it later after I knew about the pregnancy. I needed something of you to hold on to. Something to remind me that it wasn't all a dream." "Oh God, Sarah," Zane's voice cracked as he took her free hand. "Do you know how many nights I've dreamed of finding you? And now I find out I have a family. The one thing I thought I could never have." "I was wrong," Sarah's voice strengthened slightly. "So wrong to run. To keep them from you. I let fear win and it cost us all so much time. When I got sick, I knew I had to make it right. Had to make sure they'd have you even if I..." "Don't," Zane cut her off. "Don't even think that. You're getting the best medical care in the world and you're going to get better. We have 10 years to make up for and I'm not losing you again. Lily climbed carefully onto the edge of Sarah's bed, while Luna remained standing, her analytical eyes taking in every detail of the medical equipment surrounding their mother. Dr. Chin had slipped quietly into the room, checking vitals and making notes on her tablet. Your numbers are already improving, the doctor said with a small smile. I think having your family here is the best medicine we could have prescribed. Sarah's eyes never left Zane's face as she spoke. The girls, they're so much like you. Luna can solve complex math problems in her head just like you used to do. And Lily, she has your creative spark, always dreaming up new inventions. Mom tells us stories about you, Lily piped up. About how you built your first computer when you were 12, and how you always wanted to make things that would help people. She kept every article about Sterling Tech, Luna added. She said we should be proud because our father was changing the world, even if he didn't know about us yet. Zane's throat tightened with emotion. All these years I've been building this empire thinking I had no one to share it with. And now? He looked at the twins with wonder. Now I find out I have 2 brilliant daughters who've been cheering me on from afar. Sarah's monitor beeped as her heart rate increased slightly. There's so much to tell you, Zane. About the girls, about these past 10 years. I've kept journals, everything I wished I could tell you. Every first step, first word, every milestone. Shoo, Zane soothed, squeezing her hand. We have time. Right now, you need to focus on getting better. He turned to Dr. Chin. I want to transfer her to Seattle as soon as she's stable enough. My medical team at Sterling Memorial can. No, Sarah interrupted weakly. Please? I don't want to go back to Seattle until I know. Know what, Mom? Luna asked, concern creasing her young forehead. Sarah's eyes filled with tears again. Until I know if Zane can forgive me. Until I know if there's still a chance for our family to be whole. The twins held their breath, looking between their parents with matching expressions of hope and anxiety. Zane stood slowly, still holding Sarah's hand, and leaned over the bed rail. Sarah Mitchell, he said softly, using her full name like he used to do when he was being especially serious. I spent 10 years building a technology empire, but it meant nothing without you. Finding out I have a family, that we have daughters, it's beyond anything I could have dreamed. There's nothing to forgive. We just have a lot of lost time to make up for. Dr. Chin cleared her throat gently. Mr. Sterling, we should let Sarah rest now. The medication I just added to her will make her sleepy, but you can all come back in a few hours. No. Both twins protested simultaneously, causing Sarah to smile weakly behind her oxygen mask. Girls, Zane said gently, your mother needs sleep to get stronger. And while she rests, I thought maybe we could go get some dinner. I'd love to hear more about you both. Then we'll come right back, I promise. Luna studied him with those penetrating green eyes, so like her mother's. You really promise? You won't disappear? The question broke his heart all over again. Never again, he vowed. I'm your father and from now on, I'll always be here for you. For all of you. The small Italian restaurant across from the hospital was warm and cozy, tucked away from prying eyes. Zane watched in amazement as Lily attacked her spaghetti with enthusiasm while Luna methodically cut her ravioli into perfectly equal pieces. Mom says I eat like you, Lily said through a mouthful of pasta. She told us about your first date, how you got marinara sauce all over your white shirt but didn't even care because you were too busy talking about your ideas. Luna rolled her eyes at her sister's table manners, but a small smile played at her lips. And she said you used to draw diagrams on napkins when you got excited about an invention. Zane pulled out his phone and showed them a photo. Like this? It was a framed napkin with a rough sketch of what would become Sterling Tech's first successful product. A revolutionary clean energy device. You kept it? Luna leaned forward, studying the decade-old drawing. I kept everything from my time with your mother, Zane admitted. Every note, every picture, every sketch we did together. He hesitated, then added, would you like to see them sometime? When we get back to Seattle? Both girls froze, their forks hovering in midair. Back to Seattle? Lily asked quietly. Well, yes. Once your mother's strong enough to travel, I thought. Zane trailed off, seeing their uncertain expressions. But of course we'll talk about it with her first. This isn't just my decision. Luna set down her fork. Our house in Portland, all our stuff is there. My books, Lily's art supplies. And Mom's journals. Lily added. The ones she wrote for you. We can get everything moved, Zane assured them quickly. Or keep both places if that's what you want. Whatever makes you all comfortable. I just... He ran a hand through his hair, a nervous gesture Sarah used to tease him about. I've missed so much. I don't want to miss anything else. Mom says you have a robot dog at Sterling Tech. Lily changed the subject with a child's natural ability to pivot. Is it true? Can it do tricks? Zane gratefully followed her lead. Actually, we have several prototype robotic companions. Would you like to help me test the newest model when it's ready? Lily's eyes lit up. Really? Can I help program it? You know programming? Zane couldn't hide his surprise and delight. Luna taught me the basics. Lily beamed at her sister. She learned from online courses. She's super smart. She won the state math championship last year. Luna blushed, pushing her ravioli around her plate. It wasn't that big a deal. It absolutely is a big deal, Zane said firmly. I'm so proud of both of you. Luna, your mathematical skills, and Lily, your enthusiasm for engineering, you're both incredible. Even though you just met us? Luna's voice was barely a whisper. Zane reached across the table, taking one of each of their hands. I may have just met you, but you're my daughters. I've loved you since the moment I knew you existed. And I'll spend the rest of my life making up for these lost years. Promise you won't make Mom stay in the hospital too long? Lily squeezed his hand. She hates hospitals. That's why she wouldn't go before, even when she got really sick. I promise we'll get her the best care possible, but we won't keep her there any longer than necessary. Zane squeezed back. In fact, I have an idea about that. What would you think about having a medical suite set up at home? That way she could recover somewhere comfortable with all of us around. The twins exchanged one of their telepathic looks. Home meaning? Seattle? Luna asked cautiously. Home meaning wherever all of us are together, Zane corrected gently. We'll figure out the details as a family. Right now, let's focus on getting your mom better. Speaking of which, he checked his watch. Should we head back? The doctor said we could visit again after dinner. Both girls nodded eagerly, already sliding out of their chairs. As they walked back to the hospital, Lily slipped her small hand into Zane's while Luna held onto his sleeve just like before. The gesture felt so natural, so right, like they'd been doing it their whole lives. If you're enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any of the amazing stories/videos we have coming up. Your support really helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you more of what you love. Thank you. When they returned to Sarah's room, they found her sitting up more, the oxygen mask replaced with a less intrusive nasal cannula. Dr. Chin was reviewing charts with a satisfied expression. The new antibiotics are working, she informed them. Her fever's down and her oxygen levels are improving. Whatever you said earlier, Mr. Sterling, it seems to have done more good than any medicine. It's because Dad promised we'd all be together, Lily announced, then froze, realizing what she'd just said. It was the first time she'd called him Dad out loud. Sarah's eyes filled with tears, but she was smiling. Did he now? Luna climbed carefully into the chair beside the bed. He showed us the napkin drawing you made together. And he said we could help test the new robot dog at Sterling Tech. Already recruiting our daughters for R&D? Sarah's voice was stronger than before, a hint of her old teasing tone coming through. Well, they do have the perfect combination of genes for it, Zane replied, settling into the chair on the other side of the bed. Mathematical genius and creative spirit. Just like us, Sarah said softly. She reached for his hand and he met her halfway, their fingers intertwining naturally. Zane, about Seattle? We don't have to decide anything right now, he assured her quickly. The important thing is getting you well. I've already started arrangements for a private medical suite, wherever you feel most comfortable. Actually, Sarah's voice took on a determined note, I think Seattle is exactly where we need to be. The girls deserve to know their father, to be part of the world you've built. And I. She squeezed his hand. I've spent 10 years running from the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm done running. What about our house? Luna asked practically. All our things? And Mr. Whiskers? Lily added anxiously. At Zane's questioning look, she explained, our cat. He's staying with Mrs. Henderson next door. We can send a team to pack everything, Zane offered. And of course Mr. Whiskers comes too. In fact, he pulled out his phone. I know a realtor in Portland who can handle selling the house, and another in Seattle who can help us find the perfect new place. Unless. He looked at Sarah. Would you prefer to stay at Sterling Manor? It's quite large, plenty of room for everyone. The mansion on Lake Washington? Sarah laughed weakly. Still living there alone in that huge place. Not alone anymore, he smiled. Though we might need to child-proof some of the tech labs in the basement. Labs? Plural? Lily's eyes widened with excitement. Down, girl, Luna muttered, but she looked equally intrigued. Sarah watched their daughters with wonder. Look at them, Zane. They're so much like us at that age. All that curiosity, that drive to understand how things work. And now they'll have both of us to guide them, Zane said firmly. No more missed science fairs or math competitions. No more having to read about each other in magazines or newspapers. He turned to the twins. Would you like that? Living at Sterling Manor? There's a great school nearby, and you'd each have your own rooms to decorate however you want. Can I have a robotics workshop? Lily asked hopefully. As long as there's a proper library, Luna added. Sarah laughed, then coughed slightly. Dr. Chin appeared instantly, adjusting something on her fore. All right, family time is almost over for tonight. Mrs. Mitchell needs rest. But we just got here. Lily protested. It's okay, sweetheart, Sarah reassured her. I'll be much stronger tomorrow. And it sounds like we have a lot of planning to do. Zane stood, still holding Sarah's hand. I've booked suites at the hotel next door for us. We'll come back first thing in the morning. He leaned down and, after a moment's hesitation, kissed her forehead gently. No more running, he whispered. Not any of us. 1 week later, Sarah sat in a wheelchair at the hospital's private exit, significantly stronger but still recovering. The twins hovered nearby while Zane signed the final discharge papers. Remember our deal, Dr. Chin warned Sarah. You follow the home care plan exactly or it's back to the hospital. Mr. Sterling's medical suite is impressive, but you still need to take things slow. With these three watching me like hawks? Sarah smiled, glancing at her family. I don't think I'll have much choice. Luna adjusted the ring on her mother's finger. Zane had insisted Sarah wear it again, a symbol of their renewed commitment to each other. Dad's team finished setting up your room at Sterling Manor yesterday. It has all the medical equipment, but it doesn't look like a hospital at all. And wait till you see our rooms. Lily bounced excitedly. Dad let us design them ourselves. Mine has a whole wall that's a touchscreen for coding, and Luna's has these amazing built-in bookshelves that go all the way to the ceiling. With a rolling ladder, Luna added, a rare touch of excitement breaking through her reserved demeanor. Sarah reached for Zane's hand as he joined them. You've been busy this week. Well, I had excellent consultants, he smiled at the twins. They know exactly what their mother likes. The garden room overlooking the lake is ready for when you're stronger. And guess what arrived last night? Mr. Whiskers, both girls exclaimed. The aging tabby cat had been flown in on Zane's private jet along with their belongings from Portland, a fact that had made headlines in both cities. Tech billionaire's jet makes special trip for family cat. He's already claimed the sunroom as his domain, Zane chuckled. I think he's going to adjust just fine. As they made their way to the waiting car, Sarah took in her daughters' glowing faces. You two seem happy. Dad's been helping me upgrade my science fair project, Lily gushed. We're adding AI to make it even better. And he found my old math competition papers in the boxes from Portland, Luna added. He framed them for my study area. Sarah squeezed Zane's hand. You're spoiling them. Making up for lost time, he corrected gently. Besides, you should see what I've done with your old office at Sterling Tech. As soon as you're well enough, there's a certain architectural project that could use your touch. The Singapore expansion? Sarah guessed. I may have kept up with company news over the years. See? Lily nudged her sister. Told you Mom wouldn't be able to resist getting involved. The drive to the airport was filled with eager chatter about their new life. The girls described every detail of Sterling Manor to their mother, from the high-tech security system that had already memorized their biometric data to the indoor pool they couldn't wait to use. And Dad says once you're better we can all go sailing on the lake, Luna said. He's teaching us navigation already. Navigation? My practical Luna wants to learn sailing? Sarah raised an eyebrow. It's all physics and mathematics when you break it down, Luna replied seriously, making both her parents laugh. As they boarded the private jet, Lily suddenly turned serious. Mom? Are you sure you're okay with leaving Portland? All your research, your work? Oh, sweetheart, Sarah pulled her daughter close. My most important work was raising you two. And now? She looked at Zane, who was helping Luna understand the jet's navigation systems. Now we can all work on building something new. Together. 1 month later, the sun was setting over Lake Washington, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and pinks. Sarah sat on the terrace of Sterling Manor, wrapped in a cozy blanket, watching Zane teach the twins about the telescope he'd installed for their astronomy interests. Mr. Whiskers dozed contentedly in her lap, completely adapted to his luxurious new life. "Dad." Lily's excited voice carried across the terrace. "I think I found Jupiter." "Let me see." Luna leaned in to check her sister's calculations. Sarah smiled, remembering how afraid she'd been all those years ago. The doctor's devastating diagnosis, the fear that Zane wouldn't believe the twins were his, the terror of raising them alone, it all seemed so distant now. The ring on her finger caught the fading sunlight, its emeralds as bright as her daughter's eyes. Zane looked over at her, catching her thoughtful expression. He said something quietly to the girls and came to join her, sitting on the edge of her lounger. "Penny, for your thoughts?" "I was just thinking about fear," she said softly. "How it can make us do things we regret. Make us run from the very things that could make us happiest." "Mom?" Lily called out. "Come look. We found your star." "My star?" Sarah asked as Zane helped her up. "Dad showed us the star he named after you 10 years ago, Luna explained. "He never stopped believing he'd find you again." As Sarah peered through the telescope, Zane wrapped his arms around her from behind. "I registered it the day after you left," he murmured. "So there would always be a light in the darkness, guiding you home. And now we have 2 more stars to add." Sarah smiled at their daughters. "Our brilliant twins who brought us back together." "Speaking of brilliant," Zane grinned, "should we tell them about the surprise?" The girls immediately perked up. "What surprise?" "Well," Sarah sat back down, pulling them close, "your father and I have been talking. We know how much you both love science and innovation. So we're starting a new division at Sterling Tech, the Young Innovators Program. A place where kids like you can develop their ideas, learn from experts, and maybe even change the world. And guess who's going to help us design the facility?" Zane added. "Us." Luna's eyes widened. "All of us," he confirmed. "As a family. Because that's what families do, they build things together. Whether it's companies or programs or dreams or trust." Lily snuggled into her mother's side while Luna leaned against her father. Above them, stars began appearing in the darkening sky, including one that had helped guide a lost family back together. "You know what I learned?" Lily said thoughtfully. "Sometimes the best families aren't just the ones we're born into. They're the ones we find our way back to. And sometimes," Luna added, holding up her mother's hand to examine the ring that had started it all, "the scariest thing to do is to trust in love. But it's also the most important." Sarah and Zane exchanged proud looks over their daughters' heads. Who would have thought that a ring, a secret, and 2 remarkable little girls would heal a decade of heartache and bring a family together? But then again, the best stories aren't about the challenges we face. They're about the courage it takes to overcome our fears and trust in love. As night fell over Sterling Manor, the family of 4 huddled together, watching the stars twinkle above the lake. Their journey wasn't over, it was just beginning. But this time they would face it together, proving that it's never too late for love to find its way home. Thank you for watching this incredible journey of love, trust, and family. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, comment, and share it with others who might need a reminder that it's never too late for a second chance. And if you'd like to support more content like this, you can use YouTube's Super Thanks feature. Every contribution helps us continue bringing you these touching stories. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated with more heartwarming tales of love and redemption. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What would you do if you discovered a long-lost family? We'd love to hear your perspective.